Welcome to this Posture Perfect session with me. My name is Helen. I'm a yoga and movement teacher based in London. And today I'm going to take you through a little sequence you can do sat in your home office. And it can be done at any time of the day. So whether you're joining from San Francisco, Krakow, Mumbai or Melbourne today, this one is designed for you. We are going to be working into the shoulders, the hips, winding out any tension through our spine. And as I say, it's going to be mostly seated, but we are going to come to standing and get our circulation going a little bit as well. So if you aren't sitting comfortably already, come down, take a seat, and just make sure you're balanced evenly on both sitting bones. So just notice if you kind of lean to one side or the other. And then relax your hands onto your knees or your thighs. Relax your shoulders down away from your ears. Use your backrest if you have one. See if you can rest your middle back onto that backrest. Take a breath in to sit a little taller. Imagine you've got a puppet string pulling the crown of the head up tall. And as you exhale, soften your jaw, soften down through the shoulders. We're going to start with a few very simple neck rolls here. So relaxing the shoulders. We're going to drop one ear to one shoulder. And see if you can tell this shoulder to relax and let go. Lovely. Allowing the head to be really heavy here. Perfect. And then gently and slowly rolling the chin down towards the chest. Notice where the stretch kind of transfers across the back of the neck. Chin to chest. And then take it all the way over to the opposite side. So allowing this shoulder to be super heavy and relaxed. Wonderful. And then roll it back round. And if you find any little areas of tightness or tension, see if you can work into that so you'll know where it is. You can even close your eyes and really listen in to where those niggly points are for you. And if it feels okay on your neck, you can drop your head all the way back and really open up through the front of the throat as well. That's not for everyone though, so don't feel like you have to. And just be really mindful with this delicate neck joint. So you really just want to move in a way that feels nourishing to your neck. Wonderful, really, really nice. Good, and then rolling the chin down towards the chest. As you inhale, lift the head and sweep your arms up and overhead. See if you can now lift on out of your waist. Imagine this bit is getting longer. Perfect. Interlace your fingers. You're going to bring them to the back of your head, but just bring them a centimetre away from the back of your head. Now this one might feel kind of awkward in the beginning, and don't worry, it is for a lot of people. You're going to begin to make some circles with your hands here. So your shoulders might feel a little stiff. It might feel a little bit kind of clicky or uneasy. And do not worry if that is the case today. Just see if you can move with what feels right. And just pay attention to where you are feeling the tension and see if you can send your breath to that space and open it out. Wind out any tension through those shoulder blades. Wonderful. Good. Let's circle the opposite way. Maybe your circles are starting to get a little bigger. And just lightly engage your core here just to look after your spine. Keep your spine in a neutral place. Lovely. You can even start to get even bigger if you wish, or wind it in if that feels more appropriate for you. Lovely. And then bringing the hands to the back of the head, and then you can rest your head into your hands. Let your elbows drop out to the sides and really lean back on your backrest here, chin up. Should feel a nice broadening across the front of the chest. Lovely. We're going to take a little flow. Take a nice big breath. And as you exhale, bring your chin to your chest and see if you can get your elbows to touch. Take a couple of breaths here and really feel the back of the neck stretch, the back of your shoulders. Wonderful. On your next in breath, you're going to lift your chin, open out your elbows, almost like you're a flower, flowering up towards the sky. Lovely. And then as you exhale, next draw your belly in, chin to chest, and just notice how that feels. Flow with your breath. So inhale, lifting chin, open up the elbows. And then exhale, chin to chest, rounding the back. Good. This time, inhale, come on up, lift the head. Now, bring your head to a neutral place. And then we're going to bring our hands behind, interlace the fingers behind our back, squeeze the palms together and lift the chest. So you can really use your backrest here, like so, to press your back on, and then lifting your fist up a little. And that's really going to help open up through the front of your chest. Relieve any tension through your biceps as well. If you get tension through your wrists, it can sometimes be because we've got tight biceps. So see if you can just take a couple of breaths here. See if you can get your palms to touch. If you can, great. And just notice as you breathe deeper, that's when you get more of a stretch. So sometimes we don't need to physically go deeper. It's just we need to breathe a little deeper to get more sensation. Lovely. Take one more big breath in wherever you are. And then as you exhale, release your hands, bring them out in front. Give those shoulders a little bit of a roll out, a little bit of free movement there. Wonderful. We're going to find a little bit of a side stretch now. So we're going to place one hand across us. So if you can grab your thigh, like so, maybe you can grab your chair, great. And then with the opposite hand, you're going to reach up and over. Lovely. So you're stretching through your waist now. And this is going to help you breathe a little deeper. Sometimes when we've been sat for quite long periods of time, we can get a little bit kind of squashed and hunched up, and that affects our breathing, which has a huge impact on our energy and our focus. So see if you can make space in between these ribs here. Lovely. And then this bottom hand is kind of catching you, so you can lean into it almost. Good. Inhale, coming all the way up, and switch it over. So this hand comes over, grab for your thigh or your chair. Opposite hand reaches up and over. And then lean into that stretch. Good. See if you can keep your breathing nice and calm. And you can even close your eyes in any of these poses just to really help wind out any stresses or tension. Lovely. Good. Inhale, slowly coming back up, releasing your hands. We're going to go for a little twist now. So we are going to use our backrest. So you're going to bring one hand across to your outside of your knee. The opposite hand is going to come to your backrest of your chair. Sit up nice and tall. Remember sitting on both sitting bones evenly. And then as you exhale, see if you can twist to one side. And keep your chin parallel with the floor. If you start to look down, it's more stress on your upper back. So just make sure your chin is parallel with the floor. And then use your breath here, breathing in deeply to sit tall. And as you exhale, can you twist and look over that shoulder and wring out any tension from that middle spine. Good. As you inhale, come back through center, and let's do the opposite side. So hand comes onto the outside of the knee, opposite hand onto the backrest. Breathe in to lengthen through the spine so you feel your vertebrae separate and lift up. And then as you exhale, draw your belly in and twist. So almost moving with the breath here to get into that space. So inhale to lift up taller. Exhale to twist into that space. And just be mindful that you're not over-efforting with your hands. You really don't want to be cranking yourself round. You want to go to a place that feels that feels really good. Lovely. Relaxing through your facial muscles as well here. Nice. As you inhale, come back through center. Wonderful. We're going to do a little bit for our circulation of our legs and our hips, and then we're going to come to standing. So you're going to extend one leg out and then just begin to make some circles with your foot here. If you've got shoes on, it might be an idea to take your shoes off now, maybe even take your socks off and spread out your toes, give them a little space. And just feel that ankle and lower part of your leg warm up as the circulation gets moving down to that area of the body. Wonderful. And then circle the opposite way. You might hear a few pops and clicks, and it might feel like, oh, this is actually quite challenging. I haven't done this in a while. Lovely, really nice. Good. And then with that foot, you're going to bring the ankle on and rest it onto your knee on this side. So keep your foot flexed. This is going to look after your knee here. Now we're stretching through our glute and our side of our hip, getting into this hip now. This often we get tight through the hip, and that gives us lower back pain. So this is really going to help you with this. So for some of us, just sitting like this is enough. We're feeling that stretch into our hip. Maybe you feel like you want to fold into it. So I'll just demonstrate from the side, and it's just ever so slightly like a lean forward. Keep the back nice and flat, and you start to intensify that stretch into the hip. Just be mindful of any alarm bells going off in this knee. So if it's too much, just take the weight out of it, sit back in your seat, maybe even hold it up, prop it up with your hand, and that should alleviate any tension through there. You definitely want to be feeling a stretch in this hip, but absolutely no pain, never ever pain in our stretches. Relax through your upper body if you can. Just notice if any kind of tension has started to rise up or gather up. Wonderful. Let's take one more full breath in and a nice big sigh. Good. As you inhale, slowly coming back up, and then you're going to cross this leg all the way over, so your thighs are touching and this leg is kind of free. Good. Make sure you're sitting on both sitting bones evenly still. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, just begin to lean forwards and rest your belly onto your thighs. You can even rest your forearms here. You can rest your hands on your knees. And this is going to release your lower back here. So any tension held through here should be alleviated quite nicely. So you can really soften your tummy onto those thighs. For some of us, you might be all the way down here and being like, this feels so good. Really nice. Nice big breath. Big sigh out. Good. And then slowly coming on up. Uncross the legs, and let's do the opposite side. So extending that opposite leg out. Just begin with those circles through your ankle. And you might find that your ankle doesn't want to go in perfect circles. It's just the way our ankles might be designed. We're all completely different. Maybe getting the toes involved. You can spread out your toes, give them space. Get some circulation going there. Wonderful. And then circling the opposite way. And maybe the circles might start to feel a little bit more free. This is also really nice if you're ever feeling stressed or overwhelmed. Bring your attention down to your feet and your ankles. Just gets the energy downwards, a little bit more grounding. Can be really, really therapeutic for stress. Very nice. Cool. We're going to move into that hip stretch now. So you're going to bring this ankle onto your knee of this leg. Keep this foot ever so slightly flexed, so the toes are pulling back. Just going to keep your patella nice and safe of this knee. And just see how you feel on this side. We'll all have big differences in the body, so it'll be really apparent which side is tighter than the other. Maybe some of us just want to stay seated like this, resting our hands and breathing. Maybe some of us want to begin to lean forward and finding more sensation in the opposite hip this time. If it feels particularly tight, close your eyes and see if you can visualize your breath moving into that tight spot. So as you inhale, move it into that spot. And as you exhale, imagine any gripping, any tension, just kind of releasing and loosening its grip. So keeping it nice and calm. And if you ever feel like you go too far in the stretch, you can always come back from it. You can always lean out of it. Give yourself a little break. Otherwise, leaning a little more into it, if that feels appropriate for you today. Lovely. Remembering that the hands the fingers, the toes, and the face. Stay nice and relaxed. So notice if you begin to like scrunch up your hands, scrunch up your face, just see if we can keep the whole body soft, the whole body washing out tension. Lovely. Nice big breath in. Big sigh out. Good. Slowly walking yourself up to an upright position, and then you're going to cross your legs all the way over so your thighs are in contact and this leg is just kind of free. Option just to stay here. This is an option if you're feeling the stretch on the outer hips. Otherwise, just begin to relax your belly onto your thighs. It might just be a very subtle lean. For some of us, you might want to fold all the way over like so. And we're feeling that stretch and opening through the lower back. So this is where we tend to dump a lot of tension and stress when we're maybe not sat in the best possible way. So this is just a really nice, easy, gentle way just to give it space. Wonderful. Let's take one more breath here. A little sigh out maybe. Good. And then bringing yourself back up to upright. Uncross your legs. Give them a little bit of a shake out, a little bit of a tap if they need. Just a little bit of free space there. Wonderful. We're going to come into a little bit of a supported forward fold. Again, really opening up through our back. So you're going to slide forward on your chair. Just be mindful if your chair has wheels. See if you can like put on the brake. Feet flat on the floor and your big toes are slightly out to the sides. Wonderful. Now you can use your hands for support here. You're going to walk your hands forwards, come onto your elbows like so. So your upper body weight is rested onto your arms. Feel that nice lengthening of the lower back and your tailbone. Now we can take this even further and find a shoulder and neck release by bringing the hands onto the floor and really let your head go. So like give your head a little nod, yes. Make sure it's nice and heavy. Give it a little shake out, no. And just allow that upper body to really, really hang. Releasing any tension through that spine. Wonderful. Now you are so welcome to stay with the support of the chair here. Otherwise, keep your knees really bent, but press into your feet and then lift your bum up off the chair and come into this like dangly forward fold. But the knees are very, very bent. So it's not really about your hamstrings, this one. It's more about finding release through the spine. Nice. You can take a little sway from side to side. You can shift the weight forwards and back. But the key is to let the head be heavy. The weight of the head is really going to help open out the space in between each vertebrae of your spine. Wonderful. Take a nice big breath. And a little sigh out. Good. And then slowly, slowly, we're going to roll up through the spine. So start by tucking your tailbone, draw your belly in. Arms are heavy, shoulders are heavy. We're going to slowly, slowly come up to standing. So nice and slow, no head rushes. Picking ourselves up to standing. Perfect. We're going to do it a little bit standing just to get our circulation going. And it's going to be nice for our legs and our hip flexors. So you're going to use the back of your chair or you can use your table. And you're just going to grab one heel, the front edge of your ankle, and then pull your heel in towards your glute muscle. Good. So you slightly want to press your hips forward so you feel the stretch through the front of this thigh and the front of the hip, this hip flexor. So this area, when we're sat quite a lot at our desk, gets really short and really tight. And this is just lengthening it out, giving it a little bit of a refresh. Great for your circulation. And if balance is an issue, really like hold on tight to your chair. Nice, so pushing that hip ever so slightly forwards, feeling that stretch. Wonderful. And then let's switch it over. So bringing that leg down. And opposite leg comes in. So you can grab the ankle, heel in towards the bum cheek, but do not worry if you can't get that heel touching the bum cheek. Some people can't, and that is totally fine. All we're focused on is getting the stretch through the front of the quad and the front of the hip. Lovely. Keeping shoulders nice and relaxed. And see if you can send the breath down to where you feel that stretch today. Really nice. Good. Take one more big breath. And as you exhale, release. Give those legs a little bit of a shake out if they needed it after that. With any of these stretches, feel free to hold them for longer or just like incorporate them into your work day. If you've got some that you were like, oh, that felt really good, really like maybe make a little note of it and like introduce it into your work day. So this one is going to be for your hamstrings and it's going to be for your chest as well. We're going to use the back of our chair. Again, if you've got a chair on wheels, make sure the brakes are definitely on, otherwise you're going to scoot across your home office floor. Cool, so you're going to bring your hands onto the back of your chair. You're going to walk your feet back and your feet are going to be about hip width apart. And you want your hips over your heels so your legs remain straight. If you've got tension through the knee though, a soft bend in your knee is totally like fine as well. Cool, so hands rested onto the chair and then you're going to sink your chest and your head down. Let your head be heavy. Now you're going to feel a big stretch maybe towards your armpits, the chest, back of the shoulder. And by pressing your hips back, you'll feel a stretch through your hamstrings as well. Now see if you can keep your hands as relaxed as possible. So just notice if you're like really clawing at your chair. You can hold on, but try not to like build up tension through the hands and the wrists. Perfect, wonderful. At this point, you can take a little sway of your tailbone from side to side. And that's just going to help loosen off that lower back even more. Wonderful. So really let gravity help you out with this one. So imagine your head and your heart being pulled by gravity towards the floor. And this is a really nice, refreshing one for the shoulders. Good. Let's take one more breath in through our nose. Big sigh out through the mouth. Good. And then slowly bending your knees, slowly coming all the way up, walking your feet towards your chair, coming to standing. Awesome. Let's come take a seat together. And we'll just do a little bit of breathing before we end our session. And this is just going to be really nice for your focus. So come back to where we began. Find both sitting bones. Remember, sitting nice and evenly. Use your backrest. Shoulders stacked over the hips and then your head stacked over your heart so your spine is nice and tall. Close off your eyes and just rest your hands wherever feels most natural. Take a nice big breath in through the nose and sit tall. Big sigh out through the mouth. Wonderful. And then just allow your breathing to come back to its natural pace. Taking this opportunity to acknowledge how you feel now after a few movements, stretches. So noticing how our physical body feels. And also noticing if that's had any impact on our mental state, on our energy levels. Lovely. And then when you're ready, blinking the eyes open. Thank you so much for sharing this session with me today. I really hope you enjoyed it. Any stretches, jot them down that you found helpful and incorporate them into your everyday home work life. Thank you once again, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.